height of the 21st century, a world filled with vying superpowers, ran by corrupt elites apathetic to the needs of their people, more concerned over the ever-shrinking pools of natural resources that secure their power. This had set the scene for the spark that would set the world ablaze. We do not know when the first missiles were launched, or who fired first, but one thing was certain. In nuclear war, all men are cremated equal. This was the fate for almost all, as the world was engulfed in flames, scorching the earth, radiating the air, and levelling cities across the globe in a matter of hours. Those who survived to witness the desolate remains of our planet would struggle to rebuild any resemblance of former civilization. A few lucky groups were granted shelter in underground bunkers, spared the horrors of above. Your family were among one of these groups. For generations, we have survived, hidden behind the safety of these walls. This is the tale of our ancestors' damnation.
That sounds a lot like the intro to Fallout games. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to make a YouTube video. Yes, I know we don't currently live in a post-apocalyptic future yet. I'm just some queer random YouTube activist living reasonably comfortably in the UK. However, the way our politics are heading currently is eerily similar to the leading events of many of these sorts of post-apocalyptic games. That's why I've decided to make this YouTube channel, to discuss my left-wing anarcho-communist views through the medium of games and pop culture analysis.
You said the scary C word.
What culture?
No, communism and anarchy. I bet you want chaos and violence in the streets too.
Oh, that. No, you silly sausage. Anarcho-communism isn't that scary once you actually get to know what it's about. It just means that the means of production, things people need to survive, are publicly owned instead of privately owned by rich assholes, while eliminating all unnecessary, unjust hierarchical structures that give certain individuals power over other individuals for arbitrary reasons, which are often abused, like the police. But more about that in future videos, so perhaps stick around if you're curious. Though don't take my word for it, I'm just some rando YouTuber. You could read some of the writings of famous individuals like Peter Kurapovkin, a famous Russian anarcho-communist, and the author of the good book, The Conquest of Bread. See, Peter Kropotkin challenged the typical trickle-down economic worldview of capitalist states and their exploitation of workers' labour. He famously said that everywhere you will find that the wealth of the wealthy springs from the poverty of the poor. Now that doesn't sound so scary, does it? Well, unless you're a rich capitalist, I suppose.
But games and entertainment media don't have anything to do with politics. They're just meant for mindless entertainment and almost never convey political messaging.
Well, the silly disembodied persona that I made up to represent the viewer in this back and forth dialogue, that's not exactly true. Granted, games and such can be a great escape from the often depressing reality of our lives, and doesn't have to always convey a clear political message that the viewer has to engage with. However, there are always subliminal messaging, critiques, praises of certain beliefs and ideologies. Sometimes this can be very obvious and intentional by the creators to sway the minds of the audience, such as in the Fallout universe. More on this in a future video. Or it can be implicit biases that they end up portraying in the final product without really intending to, or even consciously thinking about. Take Pac-Man, for example. It's been interpreted in many ways, One such way was a modern shopper trapped in a never-ending cycle of rampant, meaningless consumerism, as well as an example of how monopolists have complete market power and can thus engage in price discrimination. So what does this all mean for us? Why do you need to know about the subtle ways, or not so subtle ways, that media conveys messaging? Well, you don't necessarily. You can continue absent-mindedly enjoying your media, only ever really taking things at face value if you want to. I know I do often. However, I believe that it is useful to train yourself to better understand how the media you consume is used as subtle propaganda to influence the ways that you perceive this world. Basically, anything can be propaganda. This is propaganda, but it doesn't always have to be deceitful. More on that in hopefully future videos. But by better understanding what's in the media you consume, you can more accurately identify and internalize the positive messaging the media may be trying to convey, or recognize and reject the more nefarious beliefs that the creators may be trying to normalize through their products. So if this sort of content sounds appealing to you and you would like to better understand the views of us on the left, please do stick around for future videos on this channel. For example, you may have already figured out that I'm a big fan of the Fallout universe, and I'm going to be releasing some videos on this in the future, as well as videos on such shows and media such as Steven Universe, Cyberpunk, Warhammer 40,000, and many more. I've also set up a Discord server which you can join. The link is below in the description. This will hopefully be a growing community as this channel grows. You can join that and discuss your views, what you'd like to see on the channel, maybe some difference of opinions you have with me, discuss what sort of interests you enjoy, and examples of good left-wing propaganda you've seen on the internet. So please come on down to the Cryptid Commune, our own little slice of commie internet. I hope this trailer wasn't too cringy. It's the sort of stylized content I'm hoping to produce more of on this channel. I'm always looking for more ways to improve. So please do like, comment, get in touch with me however you feel comfortable. Feedback is always appreciated as long as it's constructive. You could always subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz that YouTube loves to make us do nowadays, because apparently just subscribing once to a channel isn't enough for them. Or you can not. I'm an anarchist. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You could support me on Patreon. I don't currently have a Patreon, but maybe in the future. Who knows? Hopefully. In the meantime, while you're waiting for more videos, why not check out a bunch of these other cool YouTubers that I've picked out for you. They produce far better left-wing content than I'm capable of, and have a lot more of it out. YouTube channels such as Non-Compete, Luna Oi, Thought Slime, Sean, and many others like them. Links for these will also be in the description below, as well as a link to where you can read Peter Kurapovkin's Conquest of Bread for free, as well as many other left-wing literature. So please do take the time to read about and explore what else is out there. You may not agree with all of our views, you may disagree with quite a lot of them, but it's good to challenge your preconceived notions, and you might learn a thing or two. So please do come back.